Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Lisa. We are retired teachers who each have taught over 30 years in elementary schools.
I started to write a book about all the funny things that happened to me as an educator, but I couldn't get anyone to read it. So my friend Lisa here, who is also hysterical, decided to share these stories together out loud.
And so was the birth of our podcast.
We didn't know
what we didn't know.
Sit back and enjoy.
Are you tired of sitting in boring old staff meetings that crushed your soul? Or meetings that could have just been an email?
Well, here's a word from our sponsor for Staff Meeting Bingo. Pass me a bingo board, Lisa.
Now let's circle back to our discussion on hallway monitoring strategies.
Did he just say circle back?
Yes, he did. I have that square.
Wait, he just said data-driven. That's two.
He just said rigor. Okay, let's take a quick 5 minutes break.
Oh, that's another square. Breaks that are never actually 5 minutes.
Cool. Look, someone's nodding off. That's your free space, Sue. Before we finish, let's all go around the room and share one thing that we're looking forward to this week.
Bingo!
Sue, do you have something to share with the group?
My bad. Just celebrating how well this meeting is going.
Aww.
Tired of endless staff meetings? Make them bearable with staff meeting bingo. With squares like someone asks a question that extends the meeting and unnecessary icebreakers. You'll actually look forward to these endless marathons of mediocrity.
High five, Sue!
Staff meeting bingo.
Because winning is the only way to get through. Available now wherever teachers secretly shop.
Bingo is a universal connector, Lisa.
Everybody loves bingo.
Preschools play bingo.
How could you hate bingo?
Elderly play bingo. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, we have tried this. Been tested over time.
I think now that I'm a little more savvy online, we could make some really ass-kicking bingo boards, Lisa.
We could go over some of the items that we've noticed at staff meetings.
These are actual things that were on our bingo board. Yeah.
All right. Stupid questions or the what-ifer person?
The what-ifers are the worst.
Oh, my gosh. So one time we had this meeting, and it was all about bomb threats.
It's not funny.
It's sad that we had to have bomb threat meetings. But the principal said, you know what? You cannot take anything with you. Nothing can go with you. You just have to get out. And so here comes the whatever stupid question person that just extends the meeting.
It does. And
it's annoying as hell.
And my eyeballs have gotten stuck in my head from rolling them, and I've had to go to the doctor.
So
yes,
the funniest question went on and on with this one person. And they're like, well, I like to take off my shoes and put on slippers. Can I put my shoes back on, or do I have to go with my slippers?
No.
What if I have my keys on my desk?
No.
And I need to get my car. Can I take my keys?
No.
No. What if it's cold out and I would like to put on my jet? Well, what if?
No.
And it's like, for the love of God, just figure it out.
Yeah.
You are an educated person. Mm-hmm. Figure out. But what if?
Because I also, you know me well enough to know that I ask for forgiveness, not permission. So just get over yourself and just do
some things you just don't have to.
And you just do the right. The one that I had on my bingo board that I always look for were the latecomers.
Oh, that was me.
And yes, it was you. But your classroom was far away.
I'd like to thank the Academy for for my ability to come late and fill out everybody's bingo boards.
But you also could act like you were always there. I don't even know how you did that. She wasn't there, and then she was there.
Yeah. Yes, that is my superpower, to magically materialize.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Everybody's got to have a power. So the tip is, if you can get there early, you make sure that the presenter or the principal knows you're there, and then you sneak out, and you can go do something else, and then you can materialize later on. Yeah, and then they think you've been there the whole time. Or you just don't come back, and they think, oh, they've been there here the whole time.
Yeah. Now, what's the opposite of materialize?
Evaporate or dissolve. Or
dematerialize. So there's the other person that just holds up one finger, looks at their phone, and acts really important. Like, oh, gotta take this. they don't even say that. It's like, I got to take this. And then they walk out and they never
like
return.
the fake phone call. Or if you're late, I'm sorry, you hold up your fingers like, I had a phone call. Yeah, yeah. It was a parent. You mouth that.
It's my mom. That's a good one.
Good strategies. We could have another podcast on ways to survive a staff meeting besides just having a bingo board. But
right.
Were you one of those people that were always early to the meeting, or were you the slinker in or at the end, or last minute runner? Or
I was definitely there on timely, so I was there probably 5 minutes early. But I also wanted to eat. I had a granola bar, probably some chips, went to the snack shop, had a soda, sat there messing around with people for at least 5-10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
But then I didn't.
You went early for the social.
Oh, yeah. And then I was still unable to focus even after shut up, Sue. I was like, yeah, not going to happen. Yeah.
My dad always said, don't be the first one to the party or the last one to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were always first one to the meeting and the last one to leave. And you know why that is? That's just because you were one of those annoying people that were always prepared for the day.
Right.
Yes,
because I was an early
you
bird.
You weren't sitting there panicking like me, like shaking my legs, going, "Oh God, I got all these things to do when I get back."
Yeah,
you could relax and then
But also, I was the first out. I wanted to get home.
If they were at the meetings at the end of the day, I'm talking about morning meetings, like before school.
Oh, I wanted out too because I wanted to be greeting my children. I wanted to be part of their day.
Right, but end of the day,
those were rough.
My principal would always have me lead the meetings a lot of the time or present things as a way to get me to meetings earlier, which pretty much sucked.
Very sneaky. Very sneaky.
Sneaky bastard. What you do is you sneak in the back.
Yes.
And you quickly grab a chair in the very back. And then there's going to be some kind of a activity or whatever. And then you work your way up to the front.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, I know this could be a shock to you, but 2 weeks ago, I subbed in a library. This is in 2024. And I was in the library, and that's usually where the staff meetings are. And at the end of the day, in came all of the people for the staff meeting. And I saw all these. My bingo board was full like that. But the thing about the latecomers is, and I'm going to be sexist, okay? And I don't care. But there are some guys, it's all because my son's a teacher, both of them, they come slinking in late. Mm-hmm. And they lean against the bookcases. I don't know. They don't sit. They don't sit. And they were doing it at this meeting.
The bookcase leaners.
They're bookcase leaners. Well, and the other thing that I saw at this meeting was the muncher. The munchers that have to eat. That was me. I needed food immediately at 4:00. I needed to eat. And it's usually an apple. And it's loud. Right? Yeah.
Yes, the munchers. Although I like staff meetings when they had candy.
Back before they just gave you a pot of hot water.
Yes. Bring your own tea.
So how did you focus? How did you focus?
I usually doodled.
Yes, doodling is fantastic.
Yeah, but I also was kind of one of those people that was always trying to distract other people and get their attention or write little notes. Yeah. You know what? Teachers are the absolute worst listeners.
We're the worst listeners.
We are the worst audience, the worst listeners.
Very naughty, very naughty.
Yeah.
Well, I was a doodler as well, and when I saw other people doodling, it was usually on my bingo board, but it just helped me focus, and I got in trouble for that all the time, for not listening. It's like, I am listening.
Yeah. The problem is, sometimes I couldn't sit next to you in a staff meeting because we would get so off task, we'd get in trouble.
No, it's true.
And then you get I got a hold of my laugh. And you start the gigglers.
The gigglers.
Oh my God. And my whole body would shake and tears would be going down my cheeks. Tears would be going down my legs.
That's right. I laughed so hard too.
Tears went down my legs.
Well, I was watching Seinfeld the other day, and Jerry had a Pez dispenser and stuck it on Elaine's knee, and she just thought it was so hilarious. And they were in this concert, and it had to be proper. And I thought about us getting the giggles because Elaine in that episode starts laughing, and then she gets caught
you cannot hold in the laughs, and then you can't look at the person because you're like, okay, I got it under control, and then you look over, and then it all starts up again.
Teachers are the worst. We know it.
Yes. Do you remember at a staff meeting? It was insane. The principal had a can of Coke.
I don't remember this.
And a staff member.
Oh, he came up and...
He just walked up in the middle of the meeting and he grabbed the principal's Coke and took a sip of it.
Yeah.
And then set it down and walked out. I'm like, well, that was insane. And the principal just kind of looked like, what the hell just happened?
He was mentally ill. Sorry, but he was.
He wasn't mentally ill. He was a little kooky. But
I think he was mentally ill.
Maybe that was his way of coping with the staff meeting.
That could be.
I need some caffeine.
That's good.
This meeting's droning on. Yes. I'm just going to get, there's a Coke. I'm going to go get some.
And that includes then the sleepers.
I think he had narcolepsy. I bet he did have narcolepsy. Remember, he'd go and sleep out in his car.
Do you think it was ever diagnosed? I would like to just say I have narcolepsy. I also have kleptomania and scoliosis and eczema, and I've never been to a doctor. But I know it. I've got narcolepsy. I'm asleep.
That is one way to get out of things.
You can get out of trouble a lot.
that would be, if you're sleeping in a meeting. I'm sorry, I've got a little narcolepsy.
Oh, and I stole your Coke because I have kleptomania.
Why aren't you reading that? I'm sorry, I got crossed eyes.
Why aren't you sitting up? As scoliosis. That's very insensitive of you. I stole your Coke. I'm a klepto.
We had that one teacher that had the beanbag and he used to go and nap in her room.
Oh, he'd be in my room sometimes. I mean,
he never came in my room.
You can't just make up crap, okay? I have narcolepsy.
The only time he ever came to talk to me is he came in my room and he goes, I need your help right away, because I was the tech person. He goes, I need your help right away. You got to come down to the library and help me with the computer or something. And I'm like, I'm right in the middle of teaching. He goes, this is really important. And I go down there and he's on Match.com. He's like, so I need a little help with the computer setting up this account. And he goes, and which picture do you like? Do you like the picture with me eating a piece of pie? Or do you the picture with
that's mentally ill.
Next to my
Lisa,
car?
That's the definition
and I'm
of
like,
mental illness.
You pulled me out of class to come down and help you fill out your Match.com. I'm like, I will talk to you later.
So there are insane
well, you
people.
Kissed him.
It was. We're taking that out.
No, that's a funny story.
We already told that, Lisa.
Oh, did we tell it?
Yeah, we have.
Well, I'm going to tell again because Sue was getting her mail and he leaned his head over her shoulder to say hello, and Sue turned really fast and their lips met.
I actually cracked my teeth against his face. If you want to call it a kiss, then you've got some problems.
Okay, we digress. Getting back to
this is a newer one.
Okay,
the smiling at your crotch people.
Yeah,
because they're on their phone. They're trying to be real subtle that they're texting people. Half the time they're texting someone in the meeting.
You know what's funny about that is being a teacher for 30 some years is I'd always tell the kids, seriously, I've done that. I've been teaching a long time. You're not going to pull anything over on me. No. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know that when we try to text to people, you know he can see that.
Right. And then we were all given iPads because we had to teach iPads. Yes. And so we were pretending we were like, yes, I'm on your Go Noodle or whatever. We were trying to do
again, things. Teachers are the worst.
Oh, the worst. We'd be
audience and listeners.
If you see somebody swiping quickly.
Yeah, the sleeper. I love that. I'm a people watcher, so I would look around the room and just kind of look at people. That's a way that I would keep my attention to. You'd see their eyes and they'd be kind of like, flickering, and they'd go half down, and you're like, they're going to go soon. They're going to go soon. And then it's kind of a game like, I bet they're going to sleep in 20 seconds.
Yes, and then the early birds would be the ones sleeping. That's ironic.
That's the thing. If you're a night owl and then you sleep in late to last minute, you don't fall asleep in meetings.
No.
That's it. What do we got?
We still need to talk about the one-uppers.
Yeah, the toot their own horn.
That's correct. They always have something that they've done that's just much better than what you've ever done, and they have to talk about it.
Yeah. So if their principal would be talking about a new idea, they'd be saying,
oh, I wrote that idea.
Well, I have published that already.
Already.
And I do this. And you could mention anything in a meeting, and they have done it or done it better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're just full of themselves. That reminds me of someone we both know, Lisa.
Our dentist?
Our dentist.
I knew where you were going with
this. He was a one-upper.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be like, what are you doing this summer? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this RAGBRAI. I'm going to bike across Iowa in 7 days. And he was like, well, I biked it backwards.
And then one time we talked about how there was this missing guy, and my husband had been out fishing near there, and he turns to me and he goes, I snagged a dead body once when I was fishing.
What are you going to do? Well, I'm climbing up a mountain this summer. Well, I ran it backwards. In fact, I've raced it. In fact, I have the number one time.
Yeah, and the other one was, I enjoy camping. I like snow camping.
He was was so arrogant, but you know what? You kind of want your dentist to be a little doctor. You want your doctors to be a little arrogant.
I've got really great teeth now, and I give him the credit. So good job, horn tutor. So,
good job, horn tutor. Some people just have to have the attention. They have to talk just for the sake of hearing their own voice. Would that be us with this podcast?
Maybe. I think we're just making up for lost time because we were like...
Oh, yeah, because we were quiet. Well, we were probably smiling at our couch.
But we probably also... I just wanted to get out of there. Yeah. And why is it so bad? How many times would we be in a meeting before school and all of a sudden we'd hear... Ooh, it's like, oh, that's the bell. It's meant a lot to me to be in my kids' line of vision when they came in the door.
Right.
And say,
I always met them outside. You know what really ticked me off, though? So we know we have to be in these meetings because most of the time they're mandatory.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and shake my legs and tap my feet. I gotta go. And then you'd always have that one person that would be sitting there correcting their papers.
I was going to ask if you ever brought papers.
No. That really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
I don't think so.
But it's kind of like, why is that okay for you? You know what I mean? Like,
what if we all did that?
Yeah. Like, seriously, it is really disrespectful. But the fact is, why is your time more valuable than mine?
Right. Because everything we did was totally respectful.
Always respectful.
So respectful.
Sneaking in late. Texting.
Whatever.
Giggling.
Bingo!
I actually think, in hindsight now, I was probably just jealous that I didn't bring my own things to correct.
That would take a lot of organizing to get it all in.
I was so organized to do that.
But now, we did ask a younger person's opinion about this. We called Sam, and he is 28, and we wanted to know a man's perspective in the younger crowd about staff meetings. So here's the phone call we had with Sam.
Okay.
Sam, what do you think of staff meetings?
You mean staff infections?
So tell me about seating at the meeting. What do you know about a teacher's personality based on how they sit?
I mean, it's really the same as students. You got the goody two shoes. They sit in the front row. I'm usually there, honestly. I go there a lot. But the problem is some of my team members sit towards the back. And so usually if they're back there, it's kind of, just like a student. Peer pressure. I'm going to sit by my friends in the back row. I think there's the latecomers, though, in the meetings. The slinker inners. In our media center, we run out of tables for them to sit at, so they have to sit on like these comfy couches in the back, and I'm like, well, maybe I should come in late too.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll actually, depending if it's like a workshop week, I'll actually go all the way to the back of the media center, and I'll stand by the bookcases and just stand there because I just get so tired of sitting.
Standards.
The brothers who go like, just a sec. And then they leave, like they go into the bathroom, but they come back like 40 minutes later.
Well, I don't pay too much attention to that
you're a good
person.
You're a good person.
I don't know the guess. Well, because if you gotta have a 40-minute long poop, you battle those demons yourself, brother.
Battle those demons yourself.
That's so funny. He called them staff infections.
Like mother, like son.
I thought it was really funny how it must be a universal thing. Guys come in late, they stand by the bookshelves.
Well, if they're going to have nice couches in the back, why wouldn't you want to sit back there? Duh.
Yeah.
Why don't they just make the whole place couches?
Yeah. I don't think staff meetings are ever going to be hugely popular.
No, but I do believe that there's a lot more meetings going on in schools these days. And I think that a lot of them could be handled with just an email. And what you have to say, Mr. or Mrs. Principal, it's really not that interesting. I've led meetings too, and I thought, I am just the best. And it's
know what, though? The emails, I would get so far behind. People are like, did you get the email? I'm like, yeah, no. And then it'd go back. It's like 4,000 emails waiting.
Yes. Okay. Because I think that's just out of the frying pan and into the fire. You can't get to meetings and you have too many emails. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what the moral of the story is?
Yes. What is the moral of the story?
Retire.
Yes.
That is the moral.
Number one tip on how to avoid staff meetings:
don't go anymore.
Retire.
And we're sorry if anyone's listening out there that's still teaching
or any kind of job with staff
right.
meetings.
We're praying for you, and we're thinking of you, and that's all we can do.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah, I think we have more to say about staff meetings.
We always have more to say.
Please share and review, and be my friend on Facebook.
Yeah. Will you be my best friend?
I will be yours.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. We didn't know what we didn't know. We'll see you next time.